With Andrew Attmore II, Dudley Panthers quarterback. Andrew, first of all, what kind of all-season has it been for you? What have you been up to during the all-season, getting ready for the new year?
Just working, man. In the weight room, going hard, thanks to the coaches. We got a different mindset coming back into this year out of early exit in the playoffs last year. Only goal this year is to go to state. So we've been working really hard in the weight room and on the field.
Where are some of the places you've been? Because I saw you guys maybe to a Carolina camp, some other places. Where are some places you've been so far, schools and different 7-on-7s? Because it seemed like the 7-on-7 season went by so fast,
right.
Couldn't hardly catch it.
Right. We went to UNC first, and then we went to Fayetteville State and then Winston-Salem. We won the whole tournament at Winston-Salem and Fayetteville, and we came in runner-ups at UNC.
Not too bad, not too bad. Was that all 7-on-7 type stuff?
Yes, that was all. We had actually a week before our dead period, we had 7-on-7 here against Reedsville. A lot of work.
What was that like? Because Reedsville, we know they've got a lot of talent there. What was that like?
They had a few guys missing, but it was still a dogfight. We had a lot of great work out there through both teams, and it was a great 7-on-7.
As far as yourself goes, getting set for your senior season, what are some of the goals you have set for yourself and some goals you set for your team?
Right. Team goals automatically first states. That's automatic team goal. One off-season team goal, all of us to have a great bond with each other going into the season. For myself, I want to, pass the passing yards that I had last year with 2,400. I want to exceed that, maybe get 3,000 and probably 40 touchdowns.
And you look at it, what are some things you've learned from Coach Stephen Davis and Coach Antonio Hall, one of your primary offensive coaches? What are some things you learned from them that helps you get better as a quarterback since you've come to Dudley?
Leadership. They're really high on leadership, and they really get on me a lot about my leadership, and I feel like that's one of the things that I've worked on the best, and that my teammates have noticed also the coaches, is my leadership, and they help that a lot.
You mentioned last year's exit in the playoffs against South Point, against Belmont. Some things you learned in that game that you never want to see again.
Right, absolutely. We weren't clicking that game. It was just a lot of mistakes that we didn't clean up. But I feel like this year's team, where, like I said before, we're becoming a more of a team and have a better bond with each other, so it will be easier for everybody to learn and everybody to fix their mistakes, and it's not just one person yelling at one person. We're all getting on each other trying to make each other better.
And how tall are you?
6'2".
6'2", not bad. How much do you weigh?
200.
200. Now, as far as a running quarterback goes, we always talk about the emphasis about the quarterback being able to run the ball too on special occasions and sometimes on design plays. How are you coming along with that?
Better. I had my surgery that had a setback, but I'm back for my senior year. And that's the goal this year is to implement more running into my game.
So quarterbacks you may have followed over the years, anybody like a Hendon Hooker you followed, you say, boy, I like some of the stuff he does. I hope I can do some of those same things.
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of Hendon's games, at Tennessee, and for him being a Dudley alum, that it really helps, and things of that nature.
And you also think about a guy like Manny Mosley, who was a quarterback at Dudley back in the day, and a defensive back with the same team, Hookers with the Lions. So those are guys that can kind of be like, even though you're not with them directly, they can still be your mentors as far as what you want to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there are quite a few guys over the years that come through Dudley who've done the same type thing. What about these new guys? You got some regular guys who've been with you before, some new guys too. Talk about your options when you're a quarterback, some guys you can get the ball to. What about from the previous teams, Nasir Newkirk? What about getting him the ball, and what's he like once he gets it, and what do you have to do to get him the ball correctly?
Nasir, he was really big for us last year. He's one of those guys, you get the ball in the area, he's going to go get it. Cordell Bartley is the same way. If he gets the ball in his hands, he's going to score. So, and that's the only mentality that they both have. So, and that's a great mentality to have at receiver, and that's how we're going to get to our goal states is, them leading their receiving core, also to have that same mentality, also bringing in CJ and Jerron from Page and Smith, them coming in also, them was great pieces, big pieces that's going to be on our offense this year.
Do you have a dump-off running back guy you can dump the ball off to if you have some stress there? You got to have a little running back you can get the ball to, you can do some things with it?
Absolutely. LJ Southern and Jaden Brown, those two guys are elusive, great in space. They're going to make you miss. So they have a big season coming up this season.
And I'm sure there'll be a lot of exchange of the ball, not only passing the ball, but sometimes also handing the ball off to the receiver. So I'm sure it's going to be important to protect the ball, make sure they get it cleanly. And guys like Blackwell and C.J. Neely, you mentioned them earlier. I know you're going to see those guys on some jet sweeps and some big plays on the outside, getting that ball from you as a handoff too, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Our goal is, get them in space, let them do what they do.
You think about the offense, it's going to be probably varied quite a bit this year. You're going to have a lot of different options to work with. Getting that all in your head and knowing what to do in the right situation, how important are things like that as you prepare for your opening games?
It's really important. And one thing I didn't mention is our O-line. I feel like our O-line, we're able to move a lot this year. So we're going to be doing way more jet sweeps because we're able to move on the O-line part. And these flashes in practice that I've been seeing and the hard work these O-linemen have been putting in, it's going to be a great season for them also. And
talking about Blackwell and Neely, how are they kind of meshed and kind of joined in and kind of melded with the team so far? How are they kind of bonded with you guys?
They came in very strong. They came in ready to learn. And that's a big piece when you're coming in on transferring. And they didn't have a big head or anything. They came in ready to learn, and it helped us a lot.
I guess it's important too to get them in the all season, get them coming in the summertime. Go ahead and get things put in place. Go ahead and install the offense so they know it before the regular season starts. So knowing it now, you have to learn it when the season begins. So you guys should be ready on the get-go. When's the first day of practice? What's that time you're pointing to? Sometime next week. I know it's coming up soon.
Absolutely. Our first day of official practice is next Saturday. So
this coming Saturday?
This coming up Saturday.
Gotcha. So it's on you already then, pretty much.
Absolutely. We've been waiting for this. We've been having every day. We got up our countdown. We're ready for week 1 against Page.
And you think about the whole situation here right now. This week, what are you guys? You guys are doing some work this week too, and you have been working the past few weeks also getting ready, right?
Absolutely. We've been outside. We've been in the weight room a lot, and that's why I was saying we've been putting a lot of work in that weight room. That's something that is different from this year and last year's team. We spent a lot of time in the weight room getting stronger, trying to get better, and not trying to look like last year's team.
What are some things you do in the weight room to improve your game? I mean, is there any side lifts and things you do to make you a better quarterback?
Absolutely. Coach Hall, he has me doing like arm workouts also. Plus like our actual workouts, like we do bench and squat and hang clean, power cleans and things of that nature. But he has me on the side also in between sets doing my arm workouts, making my shoulders strong, my forearms strong, and things of that nature.
And what about when the season gets going? Because I know some teams, even when the season is underway, they're in the regular season on through even the postseason, some teams keep lifting. Is that the case with Dudley? Or do you guys kind of get away from the weights once the season gets going?
I feel like we're gonna continue with the weights because it's been helping us in and off the field. So even in like when we're getting not with the team, we're getting work by ourselves on like weekends and stuff. I feel like the weight room has helped.
When you're away from Dudley, what challenges you to be a better person, a better athlete, a better individual when you're not around the Dudley campus and when you're on your own at home and out and about? What challenges you then?
Mentality. It's just my mentality of me just wanting to work. I want to be better than I was yesterday. So that's just my mentality, and that I take with me forever.
And you think about Dudley this year, you said the goal is get to the state championship game.
Absolutely.
Make sure you get that far and go beyond, especially what you did last year. As you look it over, kind of going back to what we talked about already, things you got to do to make sure all of this falls into place.
I feel like everybody has to take accountability for what they've done right and what they've done wrong. And what we preach here, we're not gonna yell at each other. We're gonna build each other up. So I feel like that's something we have to do to get to our goal.
You got things you want to do for yourself. How about are you kind of grooming a backup quarterback? You got to be thinking about somebody just in case you go down or maybe for the future. A lot of times it's tough on senior quarterbacks to be worried and thinking about what they got to do for college, what to do for the team. They've also, at the same time, some of those quarterbacks got to be getting the team ready because they want to leave it better than they found it. So there's got to be some young quarterback out there behind you that's going to be coming on later on.
Absolutely.
Who might that guy be possibly? Who might that be?
AJ, Antonio Lee, and Braden Jeffries. Those two guys, me and Coach Hall, we've been working with those guys, and they're coming right along, man. And I feel like later on in the years, especially next year, they're going to be pretty good. They're going to be straight with those guys. I see a lot of potential in Braden. Braden's a young quarterback. He's a rising sophomore, but I see him doing big things in the future.
One thing about it, sometimes people don't realize, sometimes even people in the media like myself don't realize, in games that Dudley plays, oftentimes you guys get a big lead. You may not play maybe but half the game anyway because you have got such a big lead. You got to get the other guys in there.
Absolutely. That's going to be big for us this year. Getting him ready for next year, getting both of them ready for next year. Yeah, they're going to be playing a lot this year.
A lot of challenges coming up as far as the opposition goes. I'm sure right now the only thing that matters right now is Page. That's what you guys are focused on completely. But I'm sure you get in the conference, it'll be tough again. Eastern Guilford will be a challenge, I believe, this year. And I know Smith is getting better. Northeast is on their way back up. They're trying to come back around. So all the Guilford County teams on the 3A level will challenge you guys in your conference this year. And one of the main goals every year for Dudley, I'm sure, is to go through the conference unbeaten. If you can, why not go through the conference maybe unscored on too? So I think Dudley came close to doing that last year.
We did. It happened in the last game. You know, they Eastern Guilford, they scored. But I feel like we have a great chance this year of doing the same exact thing and going farther in the playoffs.
Well, think about it. Sometimes, like baseball, in some cases, the pitcher's always working hard on the mound, trying to keep his team in the game, keep him going. But he also relies on his offense to keep him on the board and get enough runs to win it. As a quarterback and an offensive player, you count on your defense to keep you guys in the game. You rely on the defense. You appreciate those guys too, I'm sure.
Absolutely, we absolutely do. Like we say, defense wins games. So, you know, we really count on them when we're in a tough situation and things of that nature. And they've been working really, really hard this offseason, going into new season this year.
Think about it from Andrew Attmore II standpoint, other people's viewpoint. So many times, like you just said, it's like the offense sells tickets, defense wins games. People got to keep that in mind, I'm sure.
Right, absolutely. I feel like that our offense we're going to be rolling right first game. I feel like that we're going to put up a lot of points just because of the bond, like I said, that we have with each other. And like we're clicking really fast, and we're learning really fast as a team. So I feel like we're going to be clicking week one, ready to go.
I think sometimes the football teams and other sports teams, they kind of want to take care of their own business. They don't worry as much about what's going on around them or outside of them. But I think from Dudley's standpoint, you guys have been doing this so long and doing it so well for a good while. From Coach Hall and Coach Davis' standpoint, sometimes the offense, they want to be among those national leaders. They want to be among those teams that are putting the big numbers, big points. They want to be seen by those guys and be with those guys because you guys worked hard to get there. You want to get that national recognition too.
Absolutely, absolutely. The state championship year 2 years ago, they were nationally ranked in rushing yards. So, and you know, that's always a goal for us. We're always wanting to be better. So, you know, maybe we can get that in passing yards this year. So
Dudley may be more of a passing team this year than a running team, but you still feel like Southern and the other kid back there with you, the other running back, Southern.
Jaden Brown.
And Jaden Brown, those guys will lead the way as far as running the ball goes. They'll give you all the yards you need.
Absolutely.
You guys may not have to receive many kickoffs this year. You guys may be kicking the ball quite a bit.
We will.
Andrew Attmore II, thank you for your time. Good luck on the season. I know you're working hard. What do you got planned the rest of this day to make sure you make this season work your way? What do you got to do on this Wednesday the rest of the day?
You know, I'm just work hard, you know, finish lifting, go in there and do installs, you know, just learn and get better.
Thank you so much for your time. Good luck on the season. I remember you all the way back when you were a JV quarterback back in the day. Followed you. Didn't lose many games back then. And I know you want to go the same route this year. Win them all.
Absolutely. Thank you.